Hey everybody, it's Mark, City Creek Bottoms Farmstead with another fireside chat. Hope everybody's doing okay and staying cool and hydrated. Very hot. I think today is supposed to be 96 degrees here in Alabama. This is Tuesday. I think tomorrow, 96. I think Thursday 97. I don't really know what the heat index is, but it's hot. It's hot. I'm gonna walk out here around corn watermelon patch. I plowed some of the stuff that I could plow, and one reason I'm gonna do that, corn's getting ready out here, and so I'm gonna be kind of paying attention for some tracks. We did hear some kind of racket the other night that was strange. I heard some thumping noises, don't know where it was coming from. So anyway, we're gonna ease out here, look around. I finally started catching up on some stuff here at the house. You can tell I've got bush hogged. Worked a little bit around some of the ponds with the weed eaters. Got to cut bushes down now. I got to get me something to kill these bushes on the pond. But a couple of my katabi trees, they're still trying to make it. I planted 4 over here. I think one of them's died. But anyway, slowly catching up on some stuff. Had that rainy period. Then I went on a maintenance shutdown, and of course you see what happened to my watermelon patch. But it is what it is. So some things just can't be helped. But it will make watermelons. My vines are meeting each other, and y'all can see where the deer have been here. And yeah, I think these are the passion flowers that's coming up out there. But I've got a good stand of watermelons. They've touched each other. They're putting on little watermelons. They got blooms, so you can see a little watermelon right there. There's one that's got a little size to it. They'll make watermelons. It was raining a good bit when I needed to hoe out exactly around the watermelon plant. It rained for about 2 weeks off and on every day. Then I went on a maintenance shutdown, and I'll just have to kind of leave this be, because if I go in there and try to do something with those passion flowers, I'll disturb a lot of the watermelon vines, so I just have to leave it alone. But you can tell the middles are good, so just is what it is, I reckon. Main reason I was doing this video today, I hadn't had a chance to go nowhere else, because like I said, I spent all day Saturday bush hogging, weed eating. Of course, Sunday I was on woodwalkers for Spencer and Misty and Greg, Mr. Mark, and Coombo. And I didn't get into a lot on Sunday because I had to work Sunday night. So, but yeah, this is the way my watermelon patch is looking. So anyway, we're gonna ease around just to pay attention. A lot of times when I plow fields, that brings the wildlife out because it stirs up stuff. And I wonder sometimes if it stirs up the other critter too, because he knows they're stirred up. Corn looking good. I do have a problem, I think. That problem is, yesterday there was a few ears I pulled just to see, and Wasn't no moisture in the ear. Let's see here a minute. Let's see if I can do this. And of course, yeah, that corn's already hard. Which a bird's been into that one, if y'all can see it. Got a little moisture in that one. I gotta get it here and start pulling corn. That's how you tell usually when one's ready. The black turns, and you can feel it. Bird worked on that one there, probably a crow or something. Now inside my corn patches stayed pretty clean. I do have some morning glories coming up. Probably what I'm gonna do is, and there's one of these things here that she calls a passion flower. You can see it's got the little bitty berry. I need to get, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Between morning glories, and I just hate to use herbicides, but may end up having to. So anyway, alrighty, let's see if we can walk around, see if we notice anything out of the ordinary. I've always noticed over the years, as soon as I'd plow at night, deer and everything else would come out in the field looking around. So I hope everybody got to watch Woodwalker Sunday and Sawdust Beast last Thursday. We talked a lot, you know, was talking about Greg and Coombo's, and you get to look at that area and see what goes on and some of the stuff that went on during that. And I hope you got to watch it. If you hadn't, go watch it. That'll help explain a lot. And you see some pictures of the area, and very similar down here where I live. Very similar landscape. So look around. This is, excuse me. You can see about how big the corn patch is. Pretty good size. And that's looking across the road up on the hill. Did see that another cat has disappeared in our neighborhood, so that makes either 7 or 8 cats since April that's disappearing. And also another dog. So I don't know. Got me a little confused of what's going on. I don't know if that's a coyote or a bobcat or maybe some other dogs or the other. And you know, I'm trying to refrain from saying that, but we do know they will gather pets. And I definitely would not tell no one that's what got it, but even if I knew it for a fact, I'd probably just keep my mouth shut. But I'm supposed to tell the truth too, so about these creatures, beings, whatever they are, which y'all know what I think they are. Just walk around the edge here, see if sister goes to acting weird. Still got that trail coming through here. Huh. That's a pretty good trail. I can about walk through there and not touch nothing. Like I told you before, there's a pond. If you can see at daylight through yonder, there's a pond on that side. Now down in here is a swamp. It drops down about 10 foot. And that creek is down there, so I don't know. Figure I'd just ease around this wood line a minute. See if I hear something, notice anything out of the ordinary. Hot time of the year to be walking off in the woods. If you are, I would definitely say get you a pair of snake boots or snake chaps. Especially in stuff like that. Hickory trees full of hickory nuts already. That's a good sign. Just Sister took off in there. Let me step in here in the edge too a minute. Let's see here. Just be quiet. Oh, she's after a squirrel. Oh me. Yeah, you can see how it drops down into a little hardwood swamp down in there. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 10 acres. It stays pretty damp down in there. She's staying close to me though. She ain't running off. It's pretty cool what Spencer caught on his thermal Wednesday night when we was coming back off the point of the river. When he caught those objects up in that big oak tree. If you hadn't seen that, I'm definitely go check that out. They're big, whatever it is. And I'll let you make your own opinion, but I think we know what they were just by the way they were acting. And Misty and Mark had heard some vocals come from that area. So I'm pretty sure that's what that was. They're getting up in them trees watching. There's something you always need to watch is in the trees. Me and Keith found that out pretty quick. That they used the trees. Maybe the young ones, I don't know about the big ones, I don't know. But I know Keith's wife, Marcia, watched one jump from tree to tree in the daylight. Then it came down and run. One of these days I'll be able to get her on video and we'll talk about that. And I know I ain't talking a whole lot. I'm trying to listen too, just pay attention. Hadn't heard of anybody else seeing anything around here since you know, back in May and June, early April, March. Been pretty quiet. Sister, let's go walk some of this plowed earth I plowed up. I had planned to put some sunflowers in one row and some grain sorghum in the other row for wildlife. See where some deer's already walked through it. Sister, we'll walk down through here and see if we notice anything out of the ordinary. Like I said, I don't know what it is about a fresh plowed field. Everything comes and checks it out. I see some deer tracks. But he's probably smart. If he did, he probably walked in the grass like I'm doing. He probably walked in the grass. Let's see. Me and Rebecca has done a little talking on our Friday night lives. I think once a month we're going to try to have a guest. I don't want to try to do it every week, but I think we're going to try to do a guest once a month, and it'll be homesteading, paranormal, the inhumanoids or cryptids, whatever you want to call them. I might even hopefully get a couple people come talk about some biblical stuff and just have a good chat, you know, a good discussion. So some of y'all that be watching, I'm gonna hit you up, you know, so you know, be ready. I'm gonna hit you up, I'll send you a message. The ones I know I can message. I like for you to come on. We'll use the StreamYard. So, you know, we'll send an email link. And just join us for a little while as we discuss different topics. And that's something we've been kind of wanting to do. We just kind of held off. So, not this Friday night, but the next, hopefully, we'll have a guest. I sent them a message a while ago and asked them could they do it. I hadn't heard back from them yet because everybody's out trying to do stuff this time of evening. So hopefully we'll have a guest or two guests and have a little good discussion. Like I said, we'll talk about anything anybody wants to talk about within reasoning. So nothing touched that dirt there. The other day when I was plowing, there was a couple of things that were questionable. I guess I should have took pictures of it. I tell you though, you can take all the pictures in the world you want to. Yeah, I mean, the people that believe in sad experiences, they pretty much gonna know. But we're not gonna prove it to the rest of the bunch. It's just hard to do it, so, you know. Tell you, it is hot out here. Yeah, this is what I call a pumpkin patch. Not a very good stand. I plowed through some of it yesterday. Of course, I missed some spots. I'll probably go through it again for the end of the week. I need to come out here and hoe around the pumpkin plants, see if that'll help keep from whatever that other mess is going. Yeah, just, oh well. You can't fight nature. It'll win every time. We're at the mercy of it. I know there's a lot been going on about the heat here in the country. What a lot of people ain't hearing that the inside of the earth is heating up, and also we're getting a lot of radiation from the sun, usually more than we usually do. So just remember that. Yes, us humans haven't been very good stewards of the earth. That we know that. Most of it's because of greed. But don't buy into all these agendas. Do your research, just like on the inhumanoid cryptids, paranormal, biblical. Do your homework on it. Don't take everything I say for fact. Go research it, look it up. But we know the earth's heating up inside. We know that the magma is moving a lot more. That in turn heats up the ocean more, because a lot of our volcanoes are under the ocean. So, you know, also we're getting a lot more radiation from the sun, because we're going toward a very active sun cycle. Actually, we're kind of in it now, so just remember that. Now, I know that don't help everybody's feelings. It's hot. Yes, it is hot. Stay hydrated. Time yourself when you work outside. You know, early mornings, late evenings. You know, our ancestors and Mr. Danny spoke on. It's weird that sometimes me and him is thinking the same thing on some stuff. But he had his porch time this morning. I listened to it on the way home from work. You know, he's talking about a lot of the older people, how they used to do. And my daddy and them done the same thing when they were full-time farming. you know, they'd get up before daylight and they'd be in the field at crack of dawn, and they would work up to about lunch. And then the hottest part of the day, which is most of us know is from about 1 to 5, is when it's the hottest. Either they would take little breaks and take them naps, or they would do stuff in the shady areas. And my dad said they done that a lot when I was growing up. He said this time, usually from about 1 to 4 or 5, they kind of didn't get back out in the field. They'd usually head back out there about 5 and do whatever they was doing until dark. They didn't eat big suppers back in. He said most of the time they ate huge breakfast, and then they usually left ate lunch from leftovers from breakfast, because you didn't want to heat up that kitchen much back in. And sometimes for supper would be a glass of milk with cornbread, or a piece of pie, sweet potato pie, whatever kind of pie my grandmother had, you know. And then they'd usually go on to bed. Now sometimes some of my uncles would go fishing for a few hours, because one time their farm was on the river, so sometimes they'd go down there and catch fish 2 or 3 hours, and bring them home, clean them, and my grandma would actually cook them for breakfast. He said most time when they ate fish, it was fresh. They pretty much ate it right after they caught it. So pace yourself in this hot weather, pick your times. You know, don't get hurt, don't get that sunstroke or heat stroke, because that stuff will mess you up for the rest of your life. I worked out all in it Saturday, but I just took my time, paced myself. Did get pretty hot on the tractor. After about 12, I did get off the tractor and kind of, you know, worked under the shade for a little while. And then later that evening, I came back out here and got started back, you know, about this time of day. Found me some shady areas to work. And that's the good thing about this field here, is this field sits east to west. Well, I mean, it's north south too. But I'm trying to plant my crops where shade in the evening will be coming this way, which that's looking east. And that's something to think about when you're planting gardens or fields. If you could plant them where you would get some afternoon shade in them. This year I done a little something different right there. Next year I will plant closer to the woods. I'll probably plant this section through here, which will give it some afternoon shade, because our plants are needing some shade now from that radiation that's coming in. And y'all just go check it out. You know, when I mention stuff, go check it out. So I got to get this tree cleaned up this fall. I'm gonna start cleaning my wood line up this fall too. It's being took over by hedge bushes or privet, whatever you want to call it. I ain't ready to walk around just see if I hear a wood knock or hear something, but I ain't heard a word. Sister's acting fine. She's not acting like anything's going on. Of course, y'all hear the rooster up there. One other thing I want to mention, and I hit on it on live last Friday night. There's a lot of biblical scholars or theologians, whatever you want to give them their names. Some of them's preachers, and a lot of them do very intensive Bible study. A lot of them go over into learn how to read Hebrew, or learn how to interpret Hebrew, where they can really interpret the Bible better. And I don't know how many of you have heard that there may have been 2 floods, maybe even 3. Not going to get too deep in this subject, but there's a lot of people, a lot of the theologians, and they point out key verses that points to it. Most of us know about Noah's flood. You know, we learned that in Sunday school. Gets brought up a good bit in sermons, and we know that's where a lot was going on with the Nephilim, the hybrids, and all the other perversion that Satan and the other fallen angels were trying to do. But there is some key things that points to a few things in the Bible. Some of it's in Genesis, some of it's in Ezekiel and Daniel, I think, and a few other places, and even Jesus kind of mentions it at one time, mentions it several times about different things. But they think there was a flood before Adam, and they think there was already another creation on the earth before Adam. It wasn't man, or we don't think it was man. And Satan got cast out of heaven, come to earth, and caused a lot of havoc like he does with us now. And the Lord ended up sending the first flood, because then it starts over with us as men being created. There's a lot of people, you can find a lot of it on YouTube, just talking about it, and most of them, what I like about them, they back it up with the verses of the Bible, chapters of the Bible. So go check it out. Not saying I completely believe that, I don't know. I'm not a theologian, or a scholar. I'm just an old country boy in Alabama. But it is something that's possible. I know a lot of Christian people get all bent out of shape when they hear stuff like that. But Lord have mercy, the Bible speaks of supernatural left and right, left and right, left and right. So, and if you believe in Christ, why is it hard for you not to think that other stuff didn't happen? I mean, something just hit me. Sorry about that. So think about that. You know, like I tell people, think out of the box. There's a lot more to this earth than we understand. I mean, us as Bigfoot researchers, or whatever you want to call us, investigators, or whatever people call us, you know, we won't know what Bigfoot is. You know, what is Bigfoot? We know they exist. Most of y'all that's watching this channel has either seen them or had experiences, or either had family or friends that you believe very much had experiences. So if you're watching this channel, most of you that way, there's probably a few homesteaders that watch. Some of the homesteaders are having experiences too. I done told you they're going to show up at homesteads. Anywhere where there's growing food and you have livestock, they're going to show up sooner or later if they're in that area. Alabama, I think, has a pretty good population of them. We have a lot of land that's in timber with farms around it. You know, we got the Appalachians that pretty much end here. And we got the swamp land, the river bottom land. So, and of course, like I've told you before, Alabama's one of the most biodiversity states in the United States. They call us North America Amazon. If you go look at the river systems of Alabama, there's water everywhere. We're drainage for other states too. Tennessee, Georgia, Mississippi. We're getting a lot of water from them, and it all comes in like a funnel in Alabama. So there's waterways everywhere. You got the Appalachians ending here. Pretty much, I mean, a little bit goes into Mississippi, but you know, the southernmost point ends right here where I live. So, you know, with river systems on both sides of it coming in. Just plentiful water everywhere you go in Alabama. If you ever come here, you really notice at the water amount. And I'm talking about fresh water. We do have some coastline, but I'm talking about, you know, fresh inland water. So a lot of springs, a lot of cave systems, you name it, you know, we got it too, just like a lot of the other states. But just, you know, yeah, I know I kind of got off on a different subject there for a minute, but you know, we're on here for one thing or another, and you know, and it's good that we've made some good friends along the way, and a lot of people I have not met yet. Look forward to one day hopefully meeting everybody somewhere down the road. And like I said, if we start doing these lives once a month on Friday night, hopefully some of y'all come on and sit and talk with us a little while. And when we start doing it, just let me know if you're interested in it. And if you are, we'll set you up. And because you know, I like to learn who the subscribers are. I like to get to know all of you. I might not get to meet all of you because a lot of you live in other states and live other places, but you know, and I hope that we're slowly growing. I noticed the channel's slowly growing, but I'm gonna still try to keep commenting to everybody somehow or another. That's why a lot of times I hope not to get real huge with this. I'm not into this for money or be famous, and y'all probably already know that, or any of that stuff. I'm into it to tell the truth, that these things exist, and to give you some information on homesteading. I know we hadn't done a very good job of that this year, but you know, show you different things. Not experts by no means on any of this, even on the biblical. I'm just telling you what I've read and started understanding. Also, when I started listening to other can't even talk today, theologians, you know, I listen to what they have to say, and then I go back and read it myself. I don't take their word 100%. Not saying I don't trust them. I just go read it myself, and man, it almost opens up to you. It's like, you know, I've read this before, didn't really understand it, and I go back and read it again, and almost like it opens up a door. So I don't know, just some things to think about. To me, it points toward the booger some. I think it does, but that's my opinion, of course. And everything's, you know, what I say on here is my opinion. I know some people think different than me. That's fine. Like I told you before, I have no problem with somebody disagreeing with me, but we can still leave as friends and still have normal discussions, because I need to hear the other side of stuff too. You know, we all need to hear both sides, because there's key points that can come out from that. So, oh, let's see here. It is hot out here. I am almost soaking wet, just walking and talking. That's I tell you what, still hadn't noticed anything out of the ordinary. Hadn't heard nothing. Sister's acting okay. Need a rain, tell that. It's getting dry here. Oh, this is one of my low spots that usually stays moist. Right here I'm coming to. Got a willow tree I need to cut down. Keeps coming more and more out in the field all the time. Makes me wonder, is that tree being pushed? Because it wasn't this low. Huh. Well, I know they grow toward sunlight too. So right here is usually my wettest spot on my place, is right here. Of course, I got a pond drainage coming, but a lot of water on this place pools right here, and I need to actually come in here and I had a ditch at one time. It's filled up. I need to actually come in here and take the front end loader and try to get it where to go to the branch. I don't know. It's still weird. I don't see nothing here out of the ordinary. This is usually my wettest spot on my place, is right here. Yeah, I got a lot of privet growing on this place. Privet wants to take over in Alabama. It loves this climate here. With all the rain and woods, it just loves to grow. Alright. Let's see, how long have I been on? Because I don't want to wear y'all out talking too long. I've been on about 35 minutes, so I need to get off here. And I know this video doesn't have a lot of information in it. You know, I didn't do a video last week. Y'all know where I was at. I was up at Greg and Coombo's. Me and Rebecca had a real good time with fellowshipping and had some activity happen and had some good discussions and had a good time. Done me and her good to get away from the farm for a day or two. Just to kind of forget stuff. Like I said, y'all go over and watch last Sunday's Woodwalkers and check out that thermal and what Misty and Greg and Coombo and Spencer had to say about what went on. I was on there too. You know, me and Rebecca experienced some of it too. Then go back to last Thursday's Mark, Mr. Mark on Sawdust Beast. They talked a little bit. I wasn't able to be on that night because I was on the way to work. So I know there's a Bigfoot conference coming up, I think this Saturday in Gatlinburg. If I was off Friday night, I wouldn't mind going, but looks like I'm gonna have to work. But there is one coming up in October that I'm gonna try to go to if I can. It's called the Tennessee Wild Man. I looked it up. It ain't too bad expensive, but 2 guys will be there that I've been really wanting to talk to. Even though I do talk to them a little bit by email and messenger. Be Mr. Scott Carpenter and Mr. Martin Groves. I'd like to sit down and talk to both of them. And I think Mr. Barton Nunley may be there too, I think. So I might be able to speak with him. Like to really, of course, with Mr. Scott, you know, he's like me. He kind of leans toward the biblical side of them being some type of Nephilim. That's one reason I'd like to talk to him. And Mr. Martin has had a lot of experiences there around that LBL. I'd like to, and I've got friends that go there camping a lot. I just want to hear what he's got to say about it. And yes, I do believe he's being truthful. He just seems very sincere about it. And there'll be some more there. I think Ron Moorhead be there. I think Hellbent Holler. I think a few others, I think. I think that this Saturday is going to be the Finding Bigfoot cruise there, and a few others. I didn't really know who they were. Because I'll be honest with you, I typically do not watch the big names. I ain't knocking them, I ain't saying nothing wrong with them. I typically keep up with the people like me. The ones that, you know, have the smaller channels that's getting out in the woods doing the research and discussing things. Not knocking these people, so nobody take that wrong. But I've done met, you know, Cliff and Bobo and Moneymaker and Lord, I can't even think of the girl's name right now. Renee, excuse me. I've met them before. It was up on Creepy Mountain back in 2013. Very nice. Now, I will say they're very nice people. They was very considerate, very nice. I have no issues against them or anything like that. I just, you know, that's just the big names ain't my cup of tea. you know. And already, you know, like I said, one reason I keep up Scott Carpenter is because of you know, the way me and him kind of think on the same level a little bit. Not saying I agree with everything he says, and he probably wouldn't agree with everything I say, but I think me and him's on the same page a little bit. And and I think Hellbent Holler will be there too. It'd be nice to meet them. I like some of the stuff they're doing. In fact, they've are researching that area for Bigfoot right now. I told them come on down here, and gave them an invite. Gave a lot of people invites. And if any of y'all subscribers on here ever want to come, you know, let me know. We'll try to arrange it. Of course, the Creepy Mountain during hunting season is kind of not a good time to come. I mean, we could go at night, but during the day it'd be limited, just because people hunting up there and everything. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here. Hope y'all have a good rest of the week. Hope to see you Friday night on the live at 7. I've been sitting here trying to think of a couple of topics to talk about. I try to want to have something every week to mention if I can. Of course, toward homesteading, and if y'all got any questions or anything you like to us talk about that we know about and maybe can talk about, you know, go ahead and send them to us. Email, messenger. And that'll prepare me for it. Maybe I can have you a good solid answer. And but well, y'all know everybody we support, you know, Spencer and Misty over at Woodwalkers every Sunday, 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central. Beast TV, typically on Thursday nights. Him and Larry, Beast of the Woods. Misty and her family, Sherry and them, have a Facebook page called SAS, Southern Sasquatch Appalachian Seekers. Flat Rock has a Facebook, has some of his pictures on there. Mr. Keith Bell has a Facebook that has some of his pictures on. Miss Bama BF has one with some interesting pictures. I think she has some stuff on YouTube too. And of course, Mr. Chris Reinhardt, Discover Sasquatch, and I think this coming up week he'll have Eric on. So y'all go check that out. I think it's either Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember which night. You go listen to what Eric's got to have to say. Eric's got a lot of knowledge on these things from his state of Ohio. And it's good to hear from other states because we can compare. So y'all go check that out. And Kyle, I keep missing him. I don't know why I'm not seeing his stuff. I guess I'm gonna go check my notifications with him. I know he's been having some people on. Night Callers has been back on last couple weeks, so y'all go check him out. And Hellbent Holler's been putting out some stuff from where they were researching there in South Carolina. And Mr. Barton hadn't put nothing out lately, but he's got some past stuff, so y'all go check it out. He's got one where I'd sent him an email and told him about some stuff here. He put it on one of the shows. It was, I don't know when it was, back in the winter. Y'all go check it out. It gives you a little more information about Creepy Mountain that I've already hadn't talked about. When I get a chance, I want to catch back up with Coombo and Greg and do a tribute to Mr. Bill White, Tal Bronco. I believe he didn't get the recognition he should have in the Bigfoot community because that man had it. Him and Coombo probably have researched more areas than most people in the Bigfoot world, except for maybe finding Bigfoot, since they're getting paid to travel over the country. Mr. Tall and Kumbo wasn't getting paid to do that, so they have a wealth of knowledge. I hate that Mr. Tall passed away last year. He was a very good Southern gentleman. He's got a book, some books he wrote, and you can go back and find him on some of the old Bigfoot forums that still exist. He was a wealth of knowledge. Never forget the day he called me and he told me, Mark, he said, these things ain't flesh and blood. You know, that's about the same time that Keith and some of the others saw the portal up there, and I was already going, oh, these things are a little bit more than flesh and blood. So, and a lot of us start off that way. We start off as the flesh and blood, and then we start having things happen. And I know there's a lot of people still believe we're flesh and blood, and that's fine. I'm, you know, not gonna knock anybody that believes that. Like I said, all of us have opinions, and we can disagree but be friendly about it and still end up being friends at the end of the day. Because to me, it's more about people. More about people anyway. All right, well, I'm gonna get off here. Y'all love one another, get along, be kind, don't be judgmental, have good discussions with each other. Even if you disagree, get along with it. I hope to see y'all Friday night at 7. Maybe we'll have something to talk about. There's one thing I was thinking about talking about, so we'll get into it more. I know last one we talked about what crops you could still plant right now and getting prepared for fall crops. So anyway, y'all, this is Mark from Cedar Creek Bottoms. Farmstead life, excuse me. With another fireside chat. Hopefully this weekend I can get out and get some more footage in some areas. Anyway, y'all take care. Love y'all. And thank you for everybody that's still watching us, and the new subscribers, you know, and the older subscribers. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.